Okay, moving right along. This one I was actually really surprised by. In 22nd place, Jace Releren.
Yeah, I was surprised by it as well. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and that's only because any Jace on an empty board in Cube will win you the game. And
I think what's dragging him down is definitely...
Yeah, no, Mike is going to have to explain this one, because there are 7s and 8s, and then
a 1.
A 1.
Well, because he
a 1.
Well, he really is just that bad in EDH. I mean, his +2 gives everyone else a card. So, I mean, there's almost never a time you want to give your opponent a card if you can avoid it. And the fact that you're drawing a card is not in any way a benefit comparable to giving every other opponent a card. The second one, so in other words, you're playing him and then you're spending 3 turns getting his value back. Chance, just play a spell. Just play a concentrate or something to get the card draw. And his -10 is milling, which milling, if you're going to have a mill deck, he's not going to be the one who mills. You'll be milling with something else. So he's really just overall terrible. There's nothing...
I don't know anything about milling in EDH, no.
Well, you would agree with me. Your deck can't wait...
Oh, yeah, no, you're totally right.
Can't wait that many turns.
Okay. This one was actually tied with Jace Releren, and it's another one of the original 5, Ajani Goldmane. This is another one I was really surprised about. I rated him highly because he was pretty good. Once again, Mike...
I have to explain again. Well, I'm totally happy to.
You have to explain again.
I'm happy. Yeah, well, overall, the 2 white is fairly prohibitive for what he does as a Planeswalker, because you'll probably keep him in 1, 2, or 3 color decks. You're never going to see him enter in 5 color. His +1 gains you life, does nothing. His -1 might be okay in tribal or a token deck, but otherwise it's negligible for what it does. And his -6, it's funny. I mean, I've seen it happen. It's pretty funny. It's like, hey, I play a 35-35. What are you guys going to do about it? And then everyone laughs because it's just a big beater with nothing on it. So it's kind of not that great. So I mean, I love his flavor, and I love him in other formats, but in EDH, not fantastic. Really not.
Yeah, definitely very flavorful.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely true. You rated him really highly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that each of the first 5 Planeswalkers from Lorwyn didn't get 10s all around from Drew.
Yeah, well, I mean, I tried not to give them too much of a pass, just because I prefer the set. But Ajani scored really well because if you look at his card art, a lot of subtle references are made, especially the double heads on his axe, the other one being from his brother's axe. And it works really well because Ajani actually, I think, had one of the most difficult, if you want to call it, Planeswalker puberties, where he was trying to figure out what exactly a Planeswalker was and how to use the spark. And I think overall that time of his life was captured really well in this card, so I'm very pleased with it.
Okay, moving on, we have Sorin Markov.
Everyone's favorite guy.
He's awesome.
I mean, this is like this is the reverse of the last one, where we have high flavor, high EDH scores, low scores in the standard and cube.
So let's hear about it.
I think triple black for what he does is triple black and 3 in cube. You're never going to get there. You're just not going to get there.
Same sort of thing with standard, right? If you're playing something that's 6 mana, you want to play something really, really powerful, and making their life total 10, meh. Being able to, deal 2 damage, gain 2 life, meh. Yeah, his ultimate's pretty sick. You get to Mindslaver them, but you're never going to get there.
Just saying, yeah, it's kind of the opposite in EDH. I mean, his second 2 ability, his -3 is insane in EDH, where life totals are 40. It draws a lot of hate, as MisterLuBuFu knows particularly. It draws a lot of hate because you play it on a multiplayer board, and it's like, I'm screwing someone at the table for the entire game. Then it becomes like, oh, I'll pick you, and then you're out of the game. So it's a very frustrating ability. It's insanely powerful that you can get him out, especially mono black, which is what he tends to run in, or runs more frequently in. You can easily ramp him up early game, and then just ends the game fast. And there's -7 taking it over. Mindslaver in general is a very fun card in EDH, but on Sorin, his -3 makes it fairly prohibitive that you're not going to you're not going to ever get to the 7 because you'll use his -3. Why else would you play him? And then his +2 is nice because you can blow out, you can kill generals, you can kill utility creatures. The life gain doesn't matter that much, but I like that he can ping off small creatures. So he's quite a beast, for sure.
Okay, on to a card that's like a pet card for me, Chandra the Firebrand. Yeah, it took 3 Chandras for one of them to break the top 20.
We're all very impressed.
Why is it a pet card?
Even I gave her a 7 for standard, even though she hasn't seen much play, because her effect, I'm waiting for people to realize how powerful it really is in some decks, especially with like Undying running around, copying. I've seen someone copy Red Sun Zenith or Zenith. They're pronounced the same way, because Red Sun Zenith exiles the creature. So I had someone, have a Chandra out, playing a red-blue control-ish deck. Chandra copying, or like slowly pinging off little mana dorks, and then eventually killing an Undying guy, exiling it, copying it, and killing another Undying guy. It was really quite impressive. I'm just waiting for people to realize that she's not horrible.
I played a standard Q on MTGO last night, and in the finals I played against somebody who's running Chandra the Firebrand in green-red for copying Rampant Growths and different, like Incinerate and stuff.
I mean, yeah, she hit the middle of the list. It's not like she's not dragging the bottom by any degree.
Oh yeah, no. That's Chandra Blaze. Next we have Texzeret the Seeker.
Oh dear, you got some explaining to do.
I mean, Texzeret the Seeker was like okay in standard. Like, he didn't really make a huge splash. Like, yeah, you'd fetch an artifact. Yay, whoop-de-doo. Or you could untap artifacts. I see it a lot stronger in EDH, for example, where you have all these powerful artifacts you can untap. Like Soul Ring, Grim Monolith, Basalt Monolith, any of those.
Time Vault.
Yeah. Really gives you mana. Maybe that was a little bit on the harsh side.
What about you, Milo?
Oh, I give both Tezzerets a 4. That could actually be a 1. Depends on if your cube supports him or not. And I think most cubes don't really support Texzeret. If they do, he's probably an 8 or a 9. But most of them don't. Like, if your cube is all artifacts, then he's probably a key player.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, on to